Right now we are in the middle of Rustmat Baseball, the largest collegiate baseball spring training in the world. Almost 300 teams with 35 million, I believe, in total economic impact over the course of 6 weeks. That's just one event of 300 that tourism and sports marketing recruits and hosts every year. And joining us on a set today, one of those great Oz's, Alex Dry. Actually, he's a local Winter Haven guy that left the nest and ultimately came back to Polk County. But welcome aboard, Alex.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Well, you know, the time frame that we're in right now, we're in the spring, and you know, spring has sprung, all of that type of fun stuff. But you know, the Rustmat Baseball, you're kind of in charge of recruiting events to what we call rectangles, soccer, or rectangular shaped, as well as diamonds, which are the baseball, softball fields, and so on. Tell us a little bit about what your job is all about and the importance of that in terms of our local economy.
Yeah, of course. So obviously, diamonds are one of the most impactful sports that we have here in Polk County. So over 100 events happening on diamonds every year, and that is, each event is spread throughout the county. So each event's not limited to 1 or 2 fields, but several of these events are at complexes. Speaking of Rustmat, I mean, they're on their peak, they're on over 20 baseball fields at any given time. So they're bringing 350 baseball teams from throughout the country here to Florida to train, and it's an extremely crucial part of what these teams are doing, but obviously the impact to us is even greater, having these 350 teams here throughout this spring for 6 to 8 week period, and it's only grown throughout the time. Like you said, I'm from Winter Haven. I grew up going to restaurants and seeing Rustmat players, and now I'm lucky enough to work with Rob Seitz and his team to bring them here every year.
And it's not just this time of year, it's not just Rustmat though. We've got, the spring games, you've got other stuff going on, so fill us in a little bit more about that.
Yeah, of course. So Rustmat's a huge piece of it, and then we have done a great job over the last 10 years of bringing more and more events here to fill up our field. So there's really not a field throughout Polk County that isn't being used in this time of the year. As well as hotel rooms, restaurants, everything's full. But the spring games is a huge piece of that. It's basically the same as Rustmat on the collegiate softball side. So they've taken a great model and have done a great job on the softball side. So this year we have over 200 D3 softball teams coming here to Polk County to train over at Diamondplex, Auburndale Softball Complex throughout the county, staying throughout the county. And those teams, a lot of those teams are here not only with their softball team, but they have their baseball team at Rustmat. They have their lacrosse team up at Northeast Regional Park. So they're bringing down hundreds of athletes to train here in Polk.
So this is your first time on the show, so we would be remiss if we didn't sort of introduce you to the folks. So, local kid, Santa Fe High. Tell us about a baseball player on top of it all.
Yeah, no, I grew up in Winter Haven and went over to Santa Fe Catholic. Had the opportunity to play several sports there. Knew that I wanted to keep my career in sports, so that propelled me to different places. Got to go to Florida State University and work for the baseball team there. So it just progressed my career in sports. After a couple other stops, it made me realize I wanted to get back to Polk County to use sports to make Polk County a better place.
Alex, talk a little bit, you know, I mentioned it earlier, and if you look at the schedule for March, I mean, these fields are busy every day. It's just phenomenal. And I just tried counting it up, but roughly 31 events throughout the course of March. They just don't show, you build it and they show up. That's a movie. That's the field of dreams, okay? That's not a business plan. So it takes an enormous amount of work and relationships and all of that stuff to get these events here, because you're competing against Miami, Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, Atlanta, Georgia, New York City, LA, and I don't mean Lake Alfred. But tell us a little bit about how that works, because they just don't show up here in Polk County. You're not an order taker. I mean, you've got to actively recruit it, and you've got to be aggressive.
Yeah, and like you said, over the next 2 months, we have over 55 events that will be here in Polk County and it's varying over 25 sports. So different types of competitions, different type of people are coming here to Polk County to participate. And we're, like I said, we're using every single field that's out there, whether it's a soccer field, a baseball field, our indoor facility. So we're using it all. And we work great with our operators to work with people from all over the country to convince them to bring their events to Polk County. And the way we do that is we talk to these event operators and let them know why Polk County is the place, because like you said, they have a lot of great options. They can come to Florida and have spring training anywhere in Florida. It's beautiful. But why Polk County is why we tell them that. And I personally can go off my prior experience of running baseball events and running them in Orlando, down in Fort Myers, on the east coast of Florida. I can always leverage that opportunity and really tell people that Polk County is the best place to do it. You'll always have teams asking, hey, I want to go to the beach. Hey, I want to go to Disney. Hey, I want to have the best restaurants. But the one advantage that we have here in Polk County is that we are the middle of everything. So you can bring your event to Polk County at a more affordable price, stay in great hotels without having to pay twice as much. And then on their last day, after they spend 5 or 6 days here, they can go to the beach or they can go to Disney. But that majority of the time, they're here and having a great time. So that's our competitive advantage, in my opinion, and I think all of our groups really find success with it.
And one thing that I admire that you've brought in is trying to get the teams and the coaches to realize there's more here in Polk County than just great fields. So just recently out at Southern Dunes, bringing some coaches out there and showing them the different facilities, the different experiences. Tell us about how you and Ray Lynn on our staff have tried to bring that experiential aspect into the sports aspect.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's one of the most important pieces. As I've said, we're pretty much maxed out on where we can get teams here. If every field is full, we can't bring that many more teams here. So it's how can we get those teams to spend more time, spend more money here in Polk County. So the team does a great job. Ray Lynn's heading it up and doing a wonderful job of making sure that these teams are having an incredible event experience. On the baseball and softball side, Tyler Cruz, who does a great job with customer service, he's constantly making sure these event operators know everything that there is to do, as well as Ray Lynn putting an itinerary together for these operators. When they come to town, they know where to go. They know the best restaurants. They know where they can go golf. They know where they can have an event space to have an event for 200 plus people. So they can find all of those opportunities and just easily, without having to Google, and it tells them to leave our market and go to Tampa or Orlando. They find those great hidden gems here in Polk County.
Lots of hidden gems here in Polk County.
You're one of them, Jack.
Yeah. More hidden than usual. That's it's today. So.
All right. Well, Alex, the sports industry itself, you had kind of the opportunity to get out there and test the waters with Perfect Game and some others. You brought those skills, those experiences back. Has it made a difference?
I think it's made an incredible difference. Similar to everyone in Polk County, I left and I had to come back. So having that opportunity to work for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, for Perfect Game, for IMG Academy, definitely saw the pros that they had and the opportunity that they had, but it showed me what I could bring from them and bring it here to Polk County. So definitely excited to be able to do so.
So who's going to be the quarterback for the Bucs? Now you sort of have an inside track there.
I do not know. I'll talk to my guy Andrew Holman, heading up some PR for them, and see what he's got.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. Still isn't resolved in Green Bay with the Aaron Rodgers situation. Came out of the dark. I think he's still in the dark. Yeah. It's been that way for several years. But it is what it is. Alex Dry, thanks so much for joining us today and kind of giving us an inside look into what it takes to get these events here, the competition. And literally, if you took a dartboard and you had 67 spots on that dartboard, and you threw the dart at the board, That's the probability, and one of those squares was Polk County. That's the probability, just actual by chance, that they would come to Polk County. So we're competing against 67 other counties just here in Florida, let alone, you know, some of the most powerful marketing organizations on the planet, up in Orlando and Miami and some of the others. So you guys do a great job. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
If you enjoyed this interview and want to watch more Sports Central, click the video below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.